Brave New World is a dystopian novel written by Aldous Huxley and published in 1932. It is set in a future society where people are engineered and conditioned to conform to a rigid social hierarchy. The novel explores themes such as individuality, freedom, and the dangers of a society dominated by technology. The novel is set in London in the year 2540 AD. Society is organized around a rigid caste system, with alphas at the top and epsilons at the bottom. Alphas are intelligent and physically superior, while epsilons are mentally and physically stunted. The government, known as the world state, controls every aspect of people's lives from conception to death. If you'd like to listen to this book on Audible for free, you can click the link in the description below. If you'd rather read this book, I've added a link to Amazon. Please feel free to leave a comment suggesting another book you'd like me to summarize. Now back to the summary. The novel follows the story of Bernard Marx, an Alpha Plus, who is different from his peers. Bernard is smaller in stature than other alphas, and he is also more sensitive and introspective. Bernard's nonconformity leads him to question the society in which he lives and to seek out a sense of individuality. Bernard is fascinated by a woman named Lenina Crown, an attractive Beta Plus, who conforms to the norms of the society. Lenina is a perfect example of the conditioning and programming that people undergo in the world state. She is content with her life and takes pleasure in her work and social activities. However, Bernard sees something in Lenina that he can't explain, and he becomes obsessed with her. Bernard and Lenina travel to a reservation in New Mexico, where they encounter a primitive society of Native Americans who live outside the world state's control. Bernard becomes interested in one of the women on the reservation, Linda, who is a former citizen of the world state. Linda was left behind on the reservation when she became pregnant with a child, a taboo in the world state society. Linda's son, John, grows up on the reservation, and he is fascinated by the stories his mother tells him about the outside world. Bernard sees an opportunity to use John as a way to gain fame and recognition in the world state. He brings John and Linda back to London, where John is appalled by the society's lack of morals and values. John struggles to find his place in a society that values pleasure and happiness above all else. He becomes involved with a group of intellectuals who are critical of the world state, but he also becomes a celebrity himself. As John's popularity grows, the media becomes interested in his story. The world state leaders are concerned that John's ideas and criticisms will undermine the stability of their society. They offer him a position of power and influence, but John refuses, feeling that he cannot compromise his values. In the end, John's inability to reconcile his ideals with the reality of the world state leads to his tragic downfall. He is unable to find a place in a society that values conformity and pleasure above all else. Bernard, on the other hand, becomes a successful member of society after selling out John and his beliefs for fame and fortune. Brave New World is a warning against the dangers of a society that values pleasure and conformity above all else. Huxley's novel explores the dangers of technology and social engineering, and it asks fundamental questions about what it means to be human. It is a powerful critique of a society that values stability and conformity over individuality and freedom. Please click the subscribe button and head down to the description below to listen to this book for free on Audible. See you in the next summary.